Hello, companions. I am the Traveler. Welcome back to Fantastic Places. Today we're journeying deep into the heart of Erebor to unravel the secrets of the kings under the mountain. The Lonely Mountain, known in Sindarin as Erebor, refers to both the mountain itself in northern Ravanian as well as a subterranean dwarven city under the mountain. In the latter part of the Third Age, it became the greatest dwarven city in Middle-earth. It was located northeast of Mirkwood, near the Grey Mountains, and was the source of the River Running. Although Durin's folk had originally discovered the Lonely Mountain and its vast mineral wealth in the Second Age, our tale begins after the fall of Khazad-dûm with Thráin I, the first king under the mountain. In the year 1099 of the Second Age, laying the foundation of a lineage marked by prosperity and tragedy, he established the dwarf kingdom within Erebor. Thráin I was born in the year 1394 of the Third Age into the royal line of Durin, a lineage renowned for its legendary kings and master craftsmen. Thráin's grandfather, Durin VI, had been king of Khazad-dûm when the Balrog of Morgoth appeared in Moria. Durin would make the fatal error of being killed by this Balrog in 1980 of the Third Age, which would henceforth be known as Durin's Bane. Durin's son, and Thráin's father Nain I, would reign briefly before he too was slain only a year later. After these tragic events, the dwarves would leave Khazad-dûm. Thráin I, now king of Durin's folk, would lead many of them east, where he founded the kingdom of Erebor, the Lonely Mountain, although some would travel instead to the Grey Mountains. Under Thráin's rule, Erebor flourished. The dwarves, as usual, delved deeply, unearthing gems and gold, establishing Erebor as a center of wealth and craftsmanship. Among Erebor's treasures was the Arkenstone, a gem of unparalleled beauty, discovered by Thráin and revered as a symbol of his kingdom's prosperity. Thráin's reign set the foundations for Erebor's future glory, yet his heart yearned for the ancient halls of Khazad-dûm. After a 209-year rule, his son Thorin I would succeed him as king under the mountain. Under Thorin I, the kingdom under the mountain would continue to expand and prosper until the year 2210 of the Third Age, when Thorin I would abandon it to join his kin in the Grey Mountains. The Lonely Mountain would remain abandoned for 380 years, until the dwarves of the Grey Mountains would be attacked by the dragons still living in those mountains. As a result, in the year 2590 of the Third Age, they would leave the Grey Mountains. The followers of Gror would settle in the Iron Hills, while the followers of Thrór would return to the Lonely Mountain. King Thrór would usher in Erebor's golden era. His rule was marked by immense wealth and the crafting of legendary treasures. Born into the line of Durin, Thrór was destined for greatness. His early life in the halls of Erebor was marked by prosperity and learning under the guidance of his forefathers. His wisdom and leadership brought unparalleled wealth and stability, attracting traders and craftsmen from afar. Under Thrór, Erebor's influence expanded, its markets buzzed with traders from distant lands, and alliances with elves and men flourished. The mountain became a melting pot of culture and commerce. But prosperity attracted peril. In the distant north, a young dragon named Smaug grew powerful and greedy. Fascinated by tales of Erebor's wealth, he became consumed with the desire to claim it for himself. Tragedy struck when the dragon laid waste to the mountain. In a fateful moment, Smaug swooped down upon Erebor. His fiery wrath was unstoppable, and the mountain trembled under his fury, marking the beginning of the end for the Dwarven kingdom. The dragon's onslaught left Erebor in ruins. The landscape, once rich and vibrant, turned into a desolate wasteland, aptly named the Desolation of Smaug. Smaug, now the unchallenged lord of Erebor, nestled himself atop the mountain of treasure. The dragon's presence cast a shadow of fear across the lands, as he jealously guarded his stolen hoard. King Thrór, with his kin and people, was forced into exile. Bereft of their home and wealth, they wandered Middle-earth, a shadow of their former glory. In exile, Thor's mind frayed. Haunted by the loss of Erebor and tormented by his failures, he succumbed to despair. His once great wisdom was clouded by a growing madness. King Thor's end was tragic. Overwhelmed by grief and madness, he met a grim fate, leaving behind a legacy of sorrow and unfulfilled dreams. His demise marked the end of an era for the dwarves of Erebor. Though his reign ended in tragedy, King Thor's story is a poignant reminder of the impermanence of wealth and the destructive power of greed. Though Smaug's reign brought despair, it also sowed the seeds of an enduring legacy. Among the exiled dwarves, Thor's grandson, young Thorin Oakenshield, would take the mantle of leadership, igniting a spark of hope for the future. In the year 2941 of the Third Age, Bilbo Baggins and Thorin's company would travel to the Lonely Mountain to regain the treasure that Smaug had stolen. Set into the side of the mountain was a secret door, 5 feet high and wide enough for 3 to walk through abreast. Gandalf had been given the door's key and a map to its location by Thráin II, which could be found only when the setting sun and the last moon of autumn, also known as Durin's Day, would shine their light upon the keyhole. With the help of the burglar Bilbo Baggins, Thorin and his company were able to enter the mountain. Smaug would eventually be slain, shot out of the sky by a black arrow at his only weak spot, a missing scale by Bard the Bowman, a man of Lake Town and a descendant of Girion, the last Lord of Dale. He would later be declared king of the restored Kingdom of Dale, and Thorin would reclaim the mountain. The elves of Mirkwood and men of Lake Town would, however, seek a portion of the treasure, which Thorin refused to share. Dain II would come to Thorin's aid, and the 3 races would almost break into war until a host of orcs and wolves attacked. Dwarves, elves, and men would join together with eagles in a battle against enemies in what would be known as the Battle of 5 Armies. During this battle, Thorin was mortally injured, and the crown of King Under the Mountain and title of King of Durin's Folk would pass to Dain. Smaug had been destroyed, and the kings under the mountain had regained their stronghold. But Erebor's troubles were not over. In the year 3019 of the Third Age, forming a new front in the northern theater of the War of the Ring, Easterling soldiers would attack across the Red River, forcing the men of Dale to retreat to the Lonely Mountain. Dwarves and men joined together in a pitched battle against these invaders, in which Dain and Bran, the King of Dale, would fall. Prior to these events, the dwarves had spent many years fortifying Erebor with great stonecraft and advanced smithwork. As a result, the Easterling siege was easily withstood. With news of the One Ring's destruction and Sauron's fall, the Easterling army was destroyed. After Dain's death, during the War of the Ring, lordship of Erebor passed to his son Thorin III, who ruled well into the Fourth Age. During this period, dwarves from the Lonely Mountain helped rebuild cities in Gondor and the fortress of the Hornburg, while others went to a newly established dwarven colony in the Glittering Caves, where Gimli took up lordship. Eventually, the dwarves would lead an expedition from the Lonely Mountain to finally reclaim the Longbeard's ancestral home of Khazad-dûm. Though their reigns were often marred by struggle, the kings under the mountain left a legacy of bravery, craftsmanship, and the eternal bond between the dwarves and their beloved Erebor. Thank you for joining us on this journey to Middle-earth. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales from Tolkien's universe and other fantastic places. Until next time, companions, safe travels.